we did the rest of the haul with nothing. A lot of ice, a lot of ibuprofen, a lot of Motrin, a lot of nerve blocks. When I would get surgeries on my extremities, from then on out, I would have nerve blocks, so I'd be completely paralyzed and numb from either my hip down to my toe or my armpit to my fingertips. It was one of the two. But it's been a hell of a journey, and it's been amazing. I wouldn't take it back for nothing, to be honest with you.
Well, you know,
I really wouldn't. Because
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, you're just you know, I know that you had messaged me because of after what had happened with this this article and this story telling that, and I appreciate you recapping that, and you say it so eloquently, and you know, you say 2016, and did you say 23 surgeries? And on such a level that the exact thing of what you're talking about that happened to Tyler is what could have relapsed with you. And we know near and dear to our heart privately what can happen there. And that is what's going on out there. I know minor, don't misunderstand. But when I fractured my ankle, they only gave me 8 days of that in February. So they gave me the big stuff, but they only gave me 8 days of it. So they are seeing it. They are managing it. When I go to my doctor, there's a sign there. If you're coming here just for meds, you're not going to get them here. So they are realizing that this prescription, you know, well, it's legal, it's a doctor, but people were finding a way to get through it and get these things, you know, for themselves or to resell them, you know, on the market. I remember talking to your mom about it, and she told me that you were like, no, I don't want to go into that path. I don't want to do that. And she said flat out, you have to in the beginning. This is the only, you know, and so I cannot imagine the alternative. That's wonderful that there's a nerve block, but the easy way, or not, I don't know how you want to put it, but to be able to just start popping meds, and then you become dependent on those. And I love that as a leader, as the Iron Man that we call you, you said, I'm going to try and do this differently. 23 surgeries. When I had my third daughter, I said, I don't want any pain medication given to me because I didn't like the effect of it, and I didn't want an anesthetic because I was afraid of the needle. I cannot imagine just putting your life, like you did, in other people's hands.
Sometimes you just gotta wing it, I guess.
I mean, truly, you really, that is faith. That is faith, and you did what you had to do. Okay, going back to now, you were talking about the story and talking to Laura, and she said, I can't cut this out. Talk to me about that. How did you feel?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing because, you know, because usually, I mean, to me, when you know, because she said she was going to put the blog on their website, which I didn't care where she put it. I just thought it'd be on their website, you know, like online. Mm-hmm. And she, like I said, she said she was going to use, you know, the whole thing, and she put it online and on social media, and it like exploded.
Yeah.
I mean, the responses I got, the messages I got, the people, see, when their son was going through his addiction, they live in a very nice area, and they were under the denial thing of, I don't want anybody to know our son's a drug addict kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And they had sent him to, it was that stigma, you know?
Yep.
And they had sent him to rehabilitation all over the country, you know, and he'd come back and do good for a little while and then fall off, you know, and It was the same thing with this. When the story came out, more people had messaged me with, people that have the beautiful home and the white picket fence and everything looks hunky-dory, and it's not. They had messaged me about family members, spouses, kids going through it. One woman I went to school with, and she is a very, very, very well-to-do and a very, very well-to-do school system. She hid the fact that her husband had drank himself and consumed enough cocaine that actually killed him last September. To where it was put down as natural causes. You know what I'm saying? People are on that denial avenue of things, and you really, you know what? This is 2019, man. You gotta, either you're open or not. If you want to live a lie, that's on you. I don't care. It's your life, it's not my journey. But I tell you what, since the day I was willing to do this, the day I was 100% honest with myself, life has never been better, even in bad times.
Yeah.
Even in some times of turmoil or seeing people lose their battle to this. My dad died. It's things of that nature.
That things that you can run to the alternative to make it better. Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Like I've said this many, many times before, for whatever reason, and I'm wired this way, I am maladjusted to life of how I react emotionally to certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
When someone dies, I want to be angry and make it all about me.
Yeah.
Instead of how it was in the past. My mother's uncle's friend's dog died. I love that dog.
Yeah.
Give me 10 shots.
Yes. Yep.
We're selfish and self-centered. I am.
And people don't realize that, and we don't, because in our lifetime that we're aware of, and I know I've been around close to 6 decades, if you will, you go through these different cultures, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, here we are, the 2000s, and I saw a meme, I love the one meme, and it says, when you hear a song, like from the 70s and you think it's, 10 years ago, it just is weird that time flies by that fast. But what we've done, and there's a couple of pictures that we painted in my observation, and one of them is, you've said this not only a couple of times. Our profile, sorry guys, our profile of this person is someone that we think is without money, living on the streets, homeless, that kind of thing, no job. And they've done that. And while that might be part of the profile, the other one that was sneaking right before our eyes was the nice suburban homes, the people that had all of this success as we saw it from the outside. And what started happening, in my belief, is we painted a couple of pictures. One was that guy that we see on the streets, and he's homeless, and he's got the brown bag, and he's getting money from people just so he can buy his next, fifth of alcohol or his next fix with Coke or whatever it might be. The other one is this stigma that it's not, it can't be me, like you said. And then there's another one. What did I do wrong? And in my opinion, throughout years, we growing up, there was a picture that was painted for marriage, a picture that was painted for relationships, for what your life should look like. And when it wasn't that way, none of us knew what to do, and we went to substance. And some people get addicted to that. Some people don't. Some people social drink and they have fun, such as myself, and I move on and I can do that. I never tried anything or did anything because I was so sad and unhappy. I really did do it for the laugh or the extra good time taking a good time and what I thought put an exclamation point on it and make it better. But we get caught up in that. We got caught up in the All-American Kid. And that's why I think art, music, movies, documentaries are really fun and interesting and important and a great ingredient, because it can take us to places where my eyes opened in my loneliness that I talked about and have talked about before. But you just start watching just the stupidest stuff on TV. You just do. And you look at these lives of these people that are living off the grid, have, air quote, nothing, and they are 150% happy. And it's in their soul, and it's in their daily life, and, you know, they're seeking their own food, they're cooking their own food, they're hanging out with each other, and they're creating and living life, and they are at peace. Because they didn't fall into that thing. You see, what I'm hearing from you is that what happens, and it had nothing to do with Travis, it's this thing, and he's feeling bad, and I understand, because when things go bad, you're like, what did I do? What could I have done better? That kind of thing. But is it, Todd, that even if we are in those situations, have you learned, and it's a question, it is not an assumption, I'm so curious about this, is it that All-American Kid, or the perfect family, or the wife with the husband, that no matter how good my life is, this drug will make it better? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah. There's this is another problem with, like you were just saying, this American dream type thing. This perfect fallacy that we have fallen into believe in. We don't want to feel pain, emotional pain, physical pain. I've said this before. The United States makes up about 3.5% of the world's population. Do you realize that we consume, as a nation, 90% of prescription medications in the world?
Wow.
We don't want to feel pain, not emotional pain. You go to the psychiatrist, counselor, whatever it may be, and go, you know what, I don't feel real motivated today, and I don't want to go to work. And they say, well, here, take this.
Yeah.
You know, my arm hurts. Here, take this. My back hurts. Here, take this. We're going to do surgery. Here, take this, and this will happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's everything from emotional damage, and which is fair. To, you know, I'm not judging or putting a gauge on someone else's pain, because everybody feels it different and sees it different. But my God, man, sometimes you got to put yourself through.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people I've heard? And this is kind of wishy-washy and kind of crappy to say in a sense, that they're so sick of society and the way society is today, they ought to just let it fall to Darwinism.
Wow.
Because, you know,
that's
survival of the fittest.
Well, you know what?
You know.
You're mentioning something, even just a few years ago. To the listeners, both of my brothers have passed away, and Richard passed away first. And I remember the situation that I was in, the place that I worked, and he'd passed away in December, and I was at work in January. And I'm sitting at my desk, and no big deal, nothing major was going on, and my heart just started pounding really hard, and I was like, what? You know, too much coffee, what's going on? I'm not a smoker. I'm sitting there, because caffeine, whatever, nicotine can make your things race. I was like, as I'm sitting at my desk, I'm reviewing what I'd eaten, what could possibly be going on. But honestly, if I was a cartoon, it would have been one of those things where my heart was really like pounding out of my chest about a foot. And I turned and I looked at my boss and I said, I need to go to the doctor. And she's like, what's going on? I go, my heart, I don't know what this is. So that's what started, Todd. It was right after Richard. That's what started this thing with my fight with high blood pressure, because what they did is they, so I go to the doctor, I'm telling